Good morning, day, night, evening, afternoon, guys. Welcome and welcome in. Today we're gonna check out another Misadventure, number 189, Fashion and Function. Grim Misadventurers, if you know, you know. True and real. Last time we started off the new year with an in-depth preview of potions customization. Today we bring you a gathering of some of the glorious item art coming with Fangs of Asterkarn. These artifacts bring both fashion and function to the battlefield. As always, everything you're seeing today is active development and subject to change, blah blah. Anyway, we have a very cool looking sword here, right? Deathshriek. Or even mythical Deathshriek, which... This one looks really good in my opinion. Like, this is a really cool item. And it has apparently the following stats. So it is a cold weapon with like some bleeding damage as well on there at the top. And it has support for Star Pact, Siphon Souls, Necrotic Edge. And also has like +2 to Berserker, right? So... It's like a... I mean, it supports weapon pool skills from Necromancer. And gives you cold resistance reduction to Siphon Souls. So it's... I think like Necromancer for like the main thing here that you want to play, right? Gives you resistance reduction to Siphon Souls, gives you 20% increased chance to use Necrotic Edge. So you can probably get to almost like 50% chance to use that, like per attack. Which is really nice. And then, of course, there's like different choices, right? You could go Arcanist as the item suggests you to do. And choose like Star Pact as an exclusive, which gives you cooldown reduction, attack speed, and conversion, which is very nice. But you could also just like pick another secondary class that, that has like better innate like cold synergy than Arcanist even, right? Like a class that has, for example, higher cold resistance reduction, like Nightblade or Berserker. Nightblade is not supported at all here on this build, like on this item. So Berserker seems to be like the more obvious choice, which would make this a... What is it? Veil Guard, Veil Keeper? What's it called again? Like Berserker and Necromancer? Something with Veil, right? I think it's like Veil Keeper or something like that. Veil Walker, never mind. Okay, Veil Walker, right. So, it's a Veil Walker / Spellbinder item, and I guess you could also play it on the Reaper. But yeah. In my opinion, this is a really good sword. It definitely seems worth playing around if you find this. And if you wanted to make a cold Veil Walker, then this is gonna be very nice. Also, for some reason you wanted to do like a 2-hit melee Spellbinder or like another alternative for Reaper. This is good, I guess, as well. You will probably need to find a way to get like 100% vitality to cold conversion as well, because like Necromancer has a bunch of flat vitality damage on Soul Harvest, which is by default vitality, and you want to convert it to cold, right? But it already like takes care of all like the Aether to cold conversion, which is very good. The bleeding damage is probably gonna be like a meme on this. I don't see like this being good for bleed damage ever. It's like attacked on there. As many stats are many items in this game. So, like, don't get confused with the bleed damage all too much. It's just a cold damage item, and that's fine too. Alright, what more do we have in store here? Portent of the End Times. This is a really cool looking 2-hit gun actually, which, or like 2-hit crossbow, I don't even know what it's supposed to be. I mean, I guess it's more a crossbow than a gun. Either way, really cool. And what does it do? It does... Wait, why can't I zoom in on this? Okay, anyway, it gives you chance to pass through enemies to Onslaught. So like, you can use the Onslaught default attack placer, and every single attack with Onslaught is gonna have a 66% chance to pass through enemies, which is really good for ranged, right? That's like really good. It also gives you a 15% total damage modified, which includes also like all damage from weapon pool skills, which will also be like modified by 15%. So that's really good too. And it converts all physical to chaos on onslaught. Like all physical to chaos on onslaught. Which would also mean like all physical damage from other weapon pool skills would also get converted to chaos as long as you're using onslaught. So for example, if you choose to use onslaught together with Zolan's technique, then the physical damage from Zolan's technique would already be converted to chaos anyway. This line in itself is kind of like only good if you don't play onslaught and you play like, for example, a witchblade, right? With Solaris Witchfire, this is occultist stuff, this is soldier stuff down here. Cadence, right? It's also their soldier skill as well. So you could play like, I mean, there's pretty much like 2 builds you can do with this. It's like Chaos, Cadence, Witchblade, I guess, and Chaos, Onslaught, Primalist are like the 2 that like bump into my eye right away. I gotta say though that the 15% TDM on Onslaught is probably way better than 20% TDM to Cadence, because like Cadence is only every 3rd hit, and Onslaught is like literally every hit. Also, this has like 66% pass-through, and can proc weapon pool skills on every single hit, whereas Cadence can only proc weapon pool skills on
you're back.
the 1st and 2nd hit, not on the actual Cadence hit. And Cadence has pass-through, so it's like 33% pass-through, but it can't proc additional weapon pool skills on the Cadence hit. But maybe it's still good enough, who knows, right? Who knows? Thanks for the resub, Old, welcome back. Appreciate the 46 months, welcome in. Also welcome in everybody, welcome in Arusius, Tuperi, Korn, Genosukex, Thrashcan Man, Berserker, Benjwarin. It's a laser pointer, yeah, exactly. Brewster, Xenonic, Envy, how you doing? Black Sabathon. Wait, no, Black Sabbath hat in, welcome, welcome. And the release date, even speculative? We don't have any idea about release date yet, except for this year. Mantic Lone Delator, welcome in. Awareness PM, Tesson, welcome guys. Eki, hello, hello, hello. 3-handed swords when? Maybe next year, or who knows. I mean, if you can become like a were spider or something like that, right? Or like a were scorpion maybe, and then you have more than 2 hands. Maybe then that works. Anyway, you could actually also like not play Witchblade or Prowlist. You could also play Thane, right? You could play Chaos Thane with this. And then you could actually play Onslaught and Zolhan's technique and don't play Cadence, because I guess Onslaught is the better skill here. And you could like still play Cadence if you wanted to, but you wouldn't play both, right? You would play either or. 20% chance to be used to Zolhan's is pretty juicy though, I gotta say. This percent chance to use a weapon pool skill is really, really good. That's really good. So yeah, we'll see. Very, very cool weapon, that's for sure. Very cool looking, and yeah. Finally some stuff for like Chaos, like ranged Chaos Witchblade, or the new Berserker classes as well. Really interesting. Also gives you like 1000 HP and lots of attack speed and leech. There's some bleeding damage on this as well. I mean, both Onslaught and Cadence have bleeding damage, but I don't see this actually being good for bleed. Just like it again, just like on this weapon, it's like a just tacked on. Are there any guides on Dawn of Mastery builds? I don't know. Maybe there are some out there somewhere on YouTube or on the forums. I have not made any myself though. Scion of Ruinous Crags. Isn't this like an area in like Forgotten Gods actually? Kinda sounds like that. Anyway, this one is a physical internal trauma damage item, which is a one-handed mace first of all, and looks like this, right? Pretty cool looking mace as well, very rad. And it has a couple of things going on for it, right? So it has weapon damage to leap, and leap, as we know now, hits with 2 hands. Or like with both hands as well if you're dual wielding now, not just with 1 hand. So you could either dual wield this weapon and play like dual wield leap berserker, like physical leap berserker with this, which also would mean you would probably get like 100% pierce to physical conversion. I'm assuming that's like rolls from maybe like 35 to 55%. So you can get like I mean, yeah, if you can read what's said in brackets here, then you know like what the min and max values are, right? So you can get 100% pierce to physical if you do wield this, with like additional damage to leap. So you can play like physical leap with this. And then there's like some other stuff on this item which I don't think synergize well with leap. I mean, you could combine it with leap, but I don't think it like synergizes all too well with leap itself. And that's like flat physical damage to spectral binding. I mean, that's nice, right? I mean, having physical damage to leap is cool, right? 8 to physical damage to spectral binding is also nice if you're like a necromancer secondary. So again, you could use this for a Whale Walker class, right? In this case, physical Whale Walker, which actually wouldn't be that bad. Like necromancer does have physical resistance reduction. But of course, you could also play Soldier or Oathkeeper secondary. As also indicated by the plus skills to safeguard and to break morale over here. And then use a shield together with necromancer. So it's like one-handed sword and board Death Knight or one-handed sword and board Oppressor, for example. And the cool thing is, well, you get 10% block chance spectral binding, which honestly, I mean, it's okay, but it's not that insane. But you do get a weapon pool skill as well, right? Ruinous Crags. Smash your foe with your shield with such force that the impact reverberates around you. This is a shield combat technique that activates off of weapon default attacks. So you get like a 20% chance, like a weapon pool skill with like 20% chance to be used. 180% main hand damage, main hand damage. I assume since this is a shield skill, it definitely will use the damage of your shield. Maybe of your shield and main hand. I mean, either it hits like Smite, or it hits like Shattering Smash, but I think it's more like Smite actually. Because it says that it has like the attack arc and maximum targets. It's not a wave, right? So it's gonna be more like a Smite kind of weapon pool skill maybe. Or maybe something completely new even. Anyway, it's a shield weapon pool skill, which probably will use the damage of your shield and your main hand weapon. And should synergize really well on like a... I think Oppressor is probably like the best class for this, because if you're Oppressor, you can also use like Oathkeeper's weapon pool skills on top. But I mean, you can also always like choose the Soldier side and just be tank here in general. Rakash Hunter, welcome and welcome. Just wanted to say I've been watching your video guides, it really helped you understand the core of the game. Glad to hear that, man. Thank you, cheers from Spain. Thank you, man. Thank you for watching and glad you enjoy all the guides and they were helpful to you. Alright, next item is the Stonehand Behemoth. This is a, well, a stone hand on a shield. This thing is so big and heavy, cannot possibly imagine anybody wielding it, much less two. Is this a hint? Two would definitely be a bad idea for your back. Oh, they're gonna like make a totally normal version of this, like 100%. Like if that isn't a hint. Okay. The item itself though looks like this and has the following stats, right? So it's a cold to physical conversion to onslaught. It's like physical and bleed onslaught. In this case you actually get like additional bleeding damage to onslaught, so maybe like bleeding is not just a like a tacked on thing, but actually also usable. But then it has like a skill, right? Stonehand, bash your opponents with a sickening explosive crunch that leaves them disoriented and broken. Requires a melee weapon. Okay, so you can't use this with a gun. And it has 500% main hand damage, which sounds insane. Give me 1 second real quick, guys. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so Stonehand Behemoth, right? Stonehand Behemoth, the Stonehand skill. So, right, it deals 500% main hand damage, which sounds insane. But remember, you only have a one-hander, so it's not gonna be like insane two-hander damage, but still 500% is a lot, right? And has like additional bleeding, internal trauma, DA shred, and the target area, so it's a pretty nice AoE skill as well. And again, has like +1 Oscars to Oathkeeper, so it kind of seems like a, well, in this case, Berserker plus Oathkeeper items, or maybe like a Zealot item. Otherwise, you also get bonuses to Open Wounds, which is a sub-skill from Onslaught, +4 to Blood Pact, which is a Shaman skill, and +2 to Spectral Wrath, which is a Necromancer skill. I don't see how there's like big Shaman synergy here, apart from like Shaman being a good bleeding class. So maybe if you want to go like Bleed Shaman with us for some reason, that's like good for that. Spectral Wrath, if you go like Physical Oppressor, I mean, yeah, I mean either Oppressor because of like +1 Oathkeeper, or Whale Walker, yeah. Just say no to Necro. I think this is probably best on Zealot, right? I mean, you could always play Shields and Soldier, but there's like literally nothing for Soldier here. Blood Rager with Stonehand Behemoth, maybe, yeah. I mean, Mystic is a good class, right? Like Shaman plus Berserker is gonna be a very, very good class. So maybe that's still doable. But I feel like Mystic has so many other builds that are just better than this, probably. Interesting item for sure. This is pretty cool. It does have OA, it does have physical resistance, it does have crit damage. And it does give you like another way to like play physical onslaught if you want to. Okay, I mean that's already it for this Misadventure though. We're gonna get the next one on March 17th. So yeah, no Fangs of Asterkarn until March 17th, that's for sure. And since we didn't get a release date here either, I'm pretty sure it's like safe to say that there's not gonna be a Fangs of Asterkarn until like May probably, right? Because if they announce it on March 17th, they wouldn't say like, oh, it's coming out next week, by the way, right? It would be definitely later than that. Like, I don't see it being out before May, to be fair, if I have to be realistic here, for sure. What do you think about these items, guys? I mean, the art looks really sick, right? Like, the sword looks pretty cool. I think the sword looks best. Like the side handle here and the necromantic like faces here. I mean, it looks like a perfect like necromancer sword. Oh, actually, maybe this one looks better. The laser gun looks arguably even better. Yeah, they still have like major features to show off, yeah, for sure. The sword looks a little bit too cartoony. Looks like a World of Warcraft sword, you're saying? Maybe, right? I think the gun looks awesome on paper. I mean, this one looks obviously good for like cold, like Whale Walker. I think this is a very obvious item to play around. The Star Pact stuff, I don't know. I mean, it might be good as well, actually, but I don't think like 15% cold resistance reduction is enough. Because, like, I mean, Arcana is not gonna like give you any. 25 here only as well, like... Make it at least 30, come on. This will have multiple uses. I think this is gonna be a very, very good item. This one... I think it's also pretty good, actually. Like dual wield, leap, or shield. Like Oppressor should be good with this. Yeah, Crown gives I think 32. So I think 30 would be a fair number here. 25 is too low. Like, it's flipping Arcanas, right? It's gotta be juiced properly. Like, okay, they make you need one less devotion. Almost. If this was like 30, it would be fine. But you're still like missing out on like minus percent resistance reduction from this class. Like you will only have like 15 from Siphon Souls. Maybe some more from like other items of Siphon Souls as well, or like to Omen, but yeah, it'll be a bit annoying. Like compared to Berserker, which has, I don't know, how much? 25 for free in the class. Right, 30 up to 35 for free in Bone Shedding Cry. Yeah. Cold Nectar always kind of feels bad. I think Reaper is fine. It's a bit squishy, but like damage is definitely there. So I don't think Wave Walker is gonna be any worse, right? Like this is gonna be really good in Wave Walker too. Like you can just play like Necrotic Edge and something like Avalanche maybe on top. Right, you play like those two, and you can pretty much like get 100% chance to use like those two only, probably with like some other items on top. And then you like juice up Onslaught, right? Avalanche, Necrotic Edge, and get like all the other stuff from the classes. Reaper's good because of Insane Mice, yeah. Whale Walker might have Insane Mice or Insane Legendaries too, right? We don't know all of them yet, but yeah. Wait, wasn't there like another item they showed off last time as well? No, the time before that actually. This one right here, right? You can play a Whale Walker with Frost's Edge into... Actually, those are like similar-ish, right? Deathshriek and this one. You can level with this. Wait, is this better than Deathshriek even? Maybe you wanna like play this forever. I don't know. I mean, both are good, right? Their own way. White's Frost's Edge and Deathshriek are both really good. Onslaught is not a strong default attack in your opinion if you're not using other offensive skills or cooldowns. It's better than Nightblade not having any, right? I think Onslaught is better than having none. And it's a two-hander after all. Like Reaper is more like about dual wielding, and like Necromancer's weapon skills are always like about dual wielding. Berserker's gonna be, at least with Necromancer compared to Reaper, more on the two-handed side of things, right? Don't play a tuner without 100% pass through. I mean, 66% pass through is already like really good in my opinion. It's very good. It's a very high number already. And you can combine this with like weapon pool skills that also have 100% pass through, like well, what's it called? The skill from Berserker itself. Blood Fangs has pass through. Zolan's technique has pass through. Alright, so if you play like a Thane, for example, you will have like close to 100% pass through, and if you play a Promise you will have less, but it's definitely still going to be higher than 66%, right? Because on the, like, if you have 33% chance to not pass through, but out of those like 33% chance you have like a 50% chance to like hit a weapon pool skill that still has pass through, for example, or even higher if you use all hands, right? Then you basically have like 80-90% pass through, right? I think that's fine. You could also use Avalanche, right? Avalanche has no pass through, but it's like a wave, right? So it still has like, well, the wave itself has passed through already. It's not gonna be 100%, right? But like 80-90%. That's what like a good build should have with this. Like realistically. That should be fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. It has like a TDM, right? I don't know. I didn't play it yet myself. Maybe I should. Now that these items are spoiled already anyway, right? I should like try to make builds around these. Maybe next time. Anyway. We have a game to play. We have a build to play. We got a Nightblade to continue. FX ranges show now, like the stats. Yeah, the stats show now. Am I allowed to leak the totally normal behemoth stats? I don't know what it is, to be fair, yet. Maybe it's already in the files, but if so, I didn't check it out yet. Like, I did, like... how do you say that? Like... scrape, basically, the entire database when the very first, like, iteration of the playtest was published. Like, the playtesters, right? But after that, I didn't, and I think on the first iteration, I'm not sure if I saw it there. Maybe I did, but I didn't want to spoil it, and now I have forgotten already if it existed or not. But I mean, eventually, we can, I guess, check it out. It would be cool if it like has some synergy with the other behemoth item, and who knows? You have maybe like 2 of those like skills, right? Come on, spoil it. I mean, it's not a thing you can do in like 2 seconds, right? Like scraping the database, especially when I was gonna wait. Like I need to wait for like a playtest first anyway. There's like one on the way apparently, but it's not on Steam yet. So, like, scraping it right now literally makes no sense. Anyway, let's continue this. ABB Nightblade, we're level 36. I just got a Alchemos weapon from SLT, which is totally optional, you don't have to like do this at all. But I did want to get like an upgrade before getting the gun from Ugnenborg, right? That's kind of like the only actually great weapon you can like aim for when you want to do like a 200 ABB run on Nightblade. I think Amalgamation was the last thing we did here, right? So we gotta go and do the rest of the Blood Grove, which means you want to check out your Chaos Rest, right? Your Chaos Rest should be, I would say, at least like 50 to 60% before you go to the Blood Grove. You got 65%, which sounds about okay. Could also go for the cannons and stuff like that, but we're gonna skip that until later, I think. So right now, the gameplay should be Shadow Strike to pack, use 1 ABB, one-shot the entire pack. But I feel like half of the trash mobs already like die to the auras from my items and my Knight's Chill right now, which is interesting. On Vanilla Grim Dawn, the best drain essence is Vitality. I think the most damage might be Aether or Cold, actually. Okay, yeah. Damage is really not bad right now. Not at all. Cold is the most damage? I think so too, yeah. But Aether actually is really, like... Drain Essence got like buffed at some point, and I think Aether is pretty good too. There's also Acid, and, well, Vitality. Vitality usually is balanced around like being slightly less damage, but having better sustain at least. She's dodging a lot, holy moly. It's a ghost after all. Which class is your best, is the best of Virus Might Skater in your opinion? There's 2 you can do. You can do Shield Breaker or Templar, right? I think Shield Breaker is better, like as a starter, or like better for early to mid game. But for endgame, Templar is probably like a bit better and smoother to play. Because I think Templar is kind of, yeah, It's okay for leveling, right? Like once you got your wire smite stuff going and so on, but I think Shieldbreaker is just better for leveling, for sure. Oh yeah, this guy right here in Bolvar is the guy for whom you want to have all that Chaos Rush. Because he can roll with like insane pistols with like high chaos damage, and then you might die. Which luckily didn't happen here. I mean, I wouldn't die, I think, with this Chaos Rush no matter what pistols he rolled, but I would have taken like more damage if he rolled like higher chaos damage pistols than he did. That's for sure. Alright, what do we have? Glacial of the... I mean, he had like double % chaos damage, like suffixes, but prefixes were kind of bad for him. The new Ruinous Crag weapon seemed only viable with Oppressor, to be honest. I think the leap stuff could also be fine. Like, leap's a pretty good skill, I think. Like physical leap, probably Wavewalker as well. Or maybe Zealot. What do you think about PoE2 endgame canastic day for you? Yeah, same. I think the campaign is awesome. Balance is terrible. And also I have no idea why they suddenly stopped balancing their game when it's literally in early access. Like, I don't know why they would do that. I know like some people got upset that like certain builds got like nerfed, and I can also understand them. But what they needed to do is just give everybody, right, if your build gets nerfed, or like if any skill that your character was using like gets nerfed, like just give a free like refund, right? But like create a currency that allows like an entire skill reset, like skill tree reset, passive skill tree reset, right? And then every patch you just give every player one of them for free, right? And that's all they needed to do, and then they could have just actually continued to balance their game, and now they're like not doing it for whatever reason. I don't know why. Like, it's weird. I don't get it. I mean, they're like saving all the balance changes for like the one big 0.2 patch, I guess. But you could like react better, I think, to... I don't know. Like, you could balance your game better if you did it, like, more in real time than they're doing right now. People will stop playing if stuff gets nerfed in the middle of the league. There's no league, though, like... I don't know. Like, it's early access, man. Who cares about early access league? I mean, I guess many people do, I don't know. I stopped playing because there were no changes, right? Like, if there were changes, I would actually be playing PoE2 maybe a bit right now, again. But it's just stale, so... Like, endgame is stale, and builds are stale, and some things just feel like dog shit, others don't, and then you just play the stuff that doesn't feel like dog shit. But once you've played like everything that doesn't feel like dog shit and that's like fun to you, then you stop playing. I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously, right, you do what you're saying once the game is out and once like there's actual leagues, right, then obviously you don't nerf stuff mid-league. But... come on, it's early access. Just balance your game. Just fix your game first. Zarya, the Carver. Alright, I mean, she can be scary, right, if she, like, puts down curse and crystals on you, but if you just kill her before she does either of that, then she's not scary. Yeah, I read the like 4chan stuff. I don't know if that's like true or not, but if true, sounds troubling. Yo, Daniel, welcome. Mage Hunter penalty or Spellbinder penalty? Kinda depends what you want to do later on, right? For all elemental types, obviously Mage Hunter is better. Spellbinder is only better for Aether, but Mage Hunter can also do Aether, right? Mage Hunter is more flexible in general. In which year can we count on Grim Dawn 2? 2035? That seems reasonable actually, yeah. I don't know, like at some point next decade. Maybe a bit earlier than 2035, but yeah, at some point like next decade, that's for sure. What if, right, what if many of the ideas that like Create are exploring with Fangs of Asterkarn are kind of like a beta for like Grim Dawn 2, right? Similar how like some ideas in PoE 1 were like basically betas for PoE 2.
Lord.
Who knows, right? Thanks for the resub, Berserker. Berserker. The Brewster. Thank you so much for the support, man. Appreciate it. Welcome back to the Bloomers. The Brewster. An ARPG for all senior citizens. Grim Dawn 2, yeah. Kinda, right. I'm happy if my grandkids can enjoy Grim Dawn 2. It's gonna be awesome. And they better like the fucking game, right? Otherwise I'm gonna disown all of them. Will Fangs of Asterkarn give you charges for Shadow Strike? Of course. Yes, of course. And yes, of course, Nightblade is gonna be more broken. Of course, of course. Fanatic's Overcoat. That's not a bad item, that's fine. These Bloodsworn investments can also be okay if you want like caster armor, I guess. Imperious of the Flesh Hulk. That's pretty tanky. Pierce, Poison, Elemental, and Stun Res. This one gives me Chaos Res and total speed. Which is honestly also very nice. I mean, resistance-wise, this one is way better though, right? I gotta say. Glacial of Alacrity, this is cold damage, it's kinda nice. More armor. Aether instead of Pierce Res, which is nice. Let's do that. Okay, cool. Alright, keep this. Keep that. Can show my skill tree. You can check out my skill tree in the description below the video as well. At all times usually. But yeah, this is all I have right now. I'm contemplating starting a vanilla Grim Dawn thing to have something to play between seasons. Is there anything to watch out for regarding save files? If you only play the online season, then not really. If you played offline, if you were playing offline season 2, then you would have to change your save folder, yeah. Like rename your save folders. If you never played offline, then there's no issue. So I'm currently playing this, right? But I'm probably gonna switch over to acid damage later. Once I get the gun. But until then, I guess we can enjoy some more cold damage stuff. And you could even like go cold damage all the way, I guess, because like Nightblade and cold damage just go so well together. And if you get a decent Alchemist item, which is definitely not guaranteed, and I mean Steps of Torment is not the easiest place to farm items for at this level, but if you get a good one, or like a usable one like I did, you could go cold damage all the way. But cold would definitely be melee until endgame, right? In endgame, there's like dual wield pistols you could do as well. Acid has like an easier time, right? You can use either the two-handed club from the East Marsh, or you can just use the gun from Udenborg. Whee. You hope Alchemist explodes. Alchemist already exploded last time we played this character. He already died. Already ditch. Oh yeah, also getting points in Elemental Awakening is actually pretty good, right? Because, well, the weakness of this skill right now is that you have to wait for your cooldown, right? So your damage between cooldowns is kind of not the best. Elemental Awakening gives you a lot of like dot, like frost burn damage, which is being applied via ABB as well, which you could use to like bridge the gap, I guess, in a way. Any tips to transition from normal straight to ultimate and hardcore? Make sure you are overcapping your top row by like 50% and your bottom row by 25%, right? You're losing 50% resistances to the top row and 25% to the bottom row, except for physical, when you go from normal to ultimate. And yeah, I mean, you want to make sure you still have 80% resistances once you go to ultimate. Maybe not necessarily for Act 1, but for all the acts after that, for sure, for sure. I think it's like the main issue, really. You can also remember that you can get resistances via augments, right? Like augments are another layer that you can put on top of your components on all of your gear slots. But you need to get faction reputation to buy augments. And for like ring and weapon augments, you can already use some once you're honored with some factions. But all the armor augments require you to be revered, like the very last status. which is kind of hard to achieve in normal, really, and I personally also don't like farming the reputation in normal. Like, I would kind of never do that. But if you're like really struggling, that's a thing that you could do for maybe like 1 or 2 factions. If you feel like there's no other way to like fix your res. But I would usually rather start to, well, only gear for like res at around like level 60 to 70, or like 50 to 70. And then once I am in ultimate, and then once I do get revered with some factions, then I can use augments to get resistances and instead like focus a little bit more on damage on the gear instead of resistances. Torchlight music, yeah. Any gear recommendation for vitality fighters? I mean, for leveling, you could either do like Ravenous Earth leveling or like Vitality, Grenado, Blackwater Cocktail offhand, I think exists as well. From like Forgotten Gods, from the raids. And then there's also like the Bone Scythes, I think, that allow you to spam Bone Harvest. And you could dual wield those as well with like some other items. It's a shame that Grim Dawn works in 1 core. I mean, it's not really only 1 core, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's very 1 core heavy. There's one small trick you can do though. Alright, if you go to your task manager. There we go. Right, if you go to your task manager and you go to details, right? You can right click on Grim Dawn here, and then you can set, like there's priority here, but then like the one below that, right? And here you can basically assign which cores should be used by Grim Dawn, and you can like remove the first like 1 or 2 affinity, a core affinity, right? You can like remove the first 2, or like at least the first one, the first one for sure. And then Grim Dawn will like primarily use like the 3rd core in this case, right? CPU 2, the 3rd core. Which at least... Because like usually like all apps will, most of the time, prioritize the 1st core, right? And then if you like use, like make Grim Dawn not prioritize the 1st core, but like the 3rd or 4th core, that can like have a little bit sometimes at least, right? Like it can help a little bit, it's always not the solution to everything, and some areas are like still gonna be like slightly laggy due to like some, well, engine limitations, I guess. But, yeah. But for me, like if I do that, I can at least maintain 60 FPS, I would say, while streaming in like no matter what area usually. You can also use the core swapper from the forums. Here there's like an app that basically like does what I just showed you automatically for you. That should be, I guess, convenient too if you want to use that instead. Like, that's pretty much the only trick I know though when it comes to... like, trying to play around the CPU core problem. I mean, or just buy a CPU that has like a strong single core, right? Just buy a CPU because of Grim Dawn, right? Okay, I can like put some more. Oh, I also like was gonna put some more points down here for like armor and pierce thrust. Actually, I don't need more pierce thrust right now though. We killed Bolvar, right? We got the 3 Seeds of Binding. We didn't do this other side quest for Terran yet. Let's do that and then... you're already ultimate at 6. Oh, okay, for item set and so on. What's it called? The one like fire vitality set. Fuck. Blaze. Blazier? No, not Blaze. Blazier is a blue set, but that's also kind of good for like, well, for Fire Defiler if you want to play a Fire Defiler. Blight Lord, right? Blight Lord is arguably one of the best Defiler sets. For Caster Defiler at least. Yeah. Blight Lord. That's one of the best for Defilers, I would say. Fire Defiler, 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 Fire Defiler. Fuck. Fire Defiler. Oh my god, dude. I mean, say Vitality Defiler 10 times, right? That's no better, right? And the Blaze Heart, like one-handed sword that you get guaranteed from Dyla in Morndale is pretty good, like a good starting point, I would say. Right? If you're playing Fire Defiler. Do I want to use these? These shoulders are like always pretty decent. Nah, I don't think they're good enough. Make a set for Gargaball? Why? It's already good enough, I think. Like, not everything needs a set, right? But yeah, you can also play Gargaball pistols, right? You can farm Ancient Grove to get Gargaball pistols. Not good enough. Did I say my upgrade sword? Oh my fucking god. Jesus. It's already reset now, right? Oh my god. Fuck. Chat got me. Cup. Nah, it's obviously my fault. I guess I have to like run one SOT more, right? Just pretend, right? I never got a good weapon, so I have to run it again because I didn't get a good weapon, right? Fire Defiler in my brain. Holy moly. I even had like the exact proper level now to use it, right? Oh my god, dude. Okay. You know what? Let's just run SOT right now then, I guess. What am I doing, man? What quest is this, by the way? What the hell? Oh, right. You can also give the resources from Fort Icon to Homestead, right? I think the last time I did that was like in 2017. No joke. Gargaball Fighter is fine, right? I mean, it used to be fine. Maybe they like over-nerfed it a bit. But I mean, they just have to like buff it again instead of like... They don't need to make like a full set for that. Certainly not everything needs a full set in this game. I think that's not true, right? I mean, that's kind of boring. There's already like too many builds with sets, I think. You think acid damage characters smell like piss? They're fine. I mean, acid damage is like a bit more on the dot side of things usually, right? But there's some pretty good ones. Diablo 4 music. Is Diablo 4 music good? This is music from Torchlight, actually. You wanna do Scion of Ruinous Crags? Nice, nice. Yeah, I think it should be good. Gotta kill the priests, otherwise they heal him again, right? Okay. Oh my god, dude. Don't sell your upgrade weapon. Don't do that, guys. Have they told you when Fangs of Asterkarn is dropping? It's dropping tomorrow. Tomorrow, hooray. Always tomorrow, hooray. No, I have no idea. Can we jump here? Yeah, we can. Yes. Can we jump here? Should I go kill Igor once again? I mean, I could. But I already have a medal, that's kind of fine. Just want to kill Alchemist real quick, see what kind of weapon he drops. Oh, fuck. No, it's a trap. Oh no. Oh fuck, they actually do damage. Reddit keeps saying that like skeleton knights are a new OP monster. Are they really like stronger than before? Like what happened? I did not notice them being any stronger. But Reddit like for some reason thinks skeleton knights are insane now. I mean Reddit's cooked very often, but like, I have no idea what they're smoking. Ah, he got a scythe this time. Which might be arguably even better than the sword, right? Let's see if we got a good one here. I should move out of the blue cancer. Touch this under. So the pool doesn't even spawn, ideally. Thunderstruck is not good, that's like lightning damage, but a frostbite is still cold damage, so... 41 this time, I mean... I guess we're gonna have to wait another 2 levels, but that's fine. Certainly still an upgrade, and this one has like acid to cold conversion, right? That part is nice. The lightning damage part is not that good, but the rest is fine. Sell it? Yeah, sell it again, right? Just sell it again. Any tips for navigating the story main quest? Just explore the map. Just explore. Grand Dawn is like Skyrim, just explore the map. Like you don't have arrows showing you where to go, right? If you're new to the game and you didn't explore literally every single corner of the map, you're playing the game wrong. On your first playthrough, at least. Later, if you like know where to go, it's fine to like just go where you need to go and leave out all the rest, but if you haven't played the game, please do not leave any corner unchecked. kinda. That's just how the game works. Like, compared to other RPGs, I would say Grim Dawn is a lot more, like, story-driven, exploration-driven. I mean, you will never get disappointed full clearing a map, usually, because there's always gonna be, like, some secret chest or some secret quest or some other stuff, right? And, well, you're definitely getting rewarded by knowing where stuff is, because Grim Dawn does not have randomly generated maps, right? It's always a fixed layout. There are sometimes some slight variations where, like, some blockers are, so, like, sometimes you have to, like, take a slightly different way. Some NPCs or, like, some monsters have, like, different spawn locations, or, like, multiple spawn locations rather, of course, as well. But the layout itself is always the same. Like, the base layout is always the same. So yeah, it's kind of like worth trying to learn the maps, because like, you get to knowing the entire map quicker than, say, in PoE, for example. And in PoE it's also, like, worth to, like, learn layouts and stuff like that, but I feel like in PoE it's a lot harder to, like, get to the point where it feels worth, so, like, many people don't even bother. In Grim Dawn it's definitely like, worth it earlier, right? Yeah, and if you look at the the quests on the right, all quests with a star, these are main quests, right? These are, like, main story quests. The ones without a star, these are all side quests and technically all optional. You don't have to do any of them. I would very much encourage you to try all of them, and then to determine yourself which of them are, like, worth it to do and which ones aren't. Ultimately, I think most of them are worth to do for, like, reputation gain with factions. But there are some that I think are definitely like, skippable. But I mean, even if skippable, you should at least, like, experience them once. I mean, you paid for the game, right? Well, like, why would you deprave yourself from content? And Sevaria has, like, 3 locations only, like 3 spawns. It's not, like, that hard, I think, to learn all of them. I should, like, maybe be careful with the mines here, but triggering all the mines like an idiot. Going to PoE had alternative ways of leveling. I think Grim Dawn does a better job at, like, speeding up the leveling process too, compared to... I mean, maybe not. I mean, PoE has, like, some pretty juicy items you can use too for alternative leveling, right, I guess? I don't know. In Grim Dawn you can speed up the leveling process from, like, level 1 to 94 from the, I don't know, like, whatever hours you need on your first character, say around, like, 25 to 30 hours. Probably more if you're, like, actually new to the game, right? But you can speed it up to, like, well, down to up to 5 hours, I would say, right? Maybe, like, 6 to 7 is, like, what the average player would usually achieve with, like, leveling gear. But you can do it in, like, sub 5 hours, even if you're, like, really, really fast. Daniel Snake, welcome in, appreciate it. Welcome back, 4 months. Thanks for the prime. 2 hours in Crucible boosted? Well, yeah, you can also do that, I guess, but that's, like, requiring multiplayer, and it's not really, like, hardcore friendly, and yeah, also then you will have no reputation whatsoever with all factions, right? I don't know, I don't really like Crucible leveling that much. But it is another way of leveling if you really want to, yeah, I guess. I don't think it's, like, more efficient than just doing the campaign though. Ultimately, because of, well, reputation mainly. And I wish like reputation was account wide. Yeah, they would have to like probably change some things about reputation then, if they do it like that. We're gonna go back here and go back to my import that I left in front of the script here, because there's a shrine in here. But yeah, if they changed like around some things, then I could definitely see like reputation gain being global. That's technically something we could try to implement in the leagues actually, eventually. But we need to have a bit more like a bit more like stabler, or more stable system for like shared progress. Like if we didn't have a single like person reset their their alteration trees last league, then I would say sure, let's just do it right away. But unfortunately we still have like some cases where like trees got reset, right? So unless we fix that, I don't think rep should be global quite yet, or like account wide quite yet.
Good, you're back.
KI's cool.
Thanks for the resub, Dusknump. Appreciate it, 29 months already. Welcome back to the Bloomers. Welcome back, welcome. Account wide rep takes away too much from it. Also, yeah, true, there's like some situations like Barrow Home, right, where account wide rep wouldn't quite work. Right, it like just doesn't really work. Unless you make like people join like a, I don't know, like Horde versus Alliance kind of thing at the start of every league, right? Prismatic Eviscerator is a good item too, right? Yeah. Like even if you don't have like Alchemos items and you didn't run like SOT, if you get a Prismatic Eviscerator, that's already an upgrade, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it is. What else do we have here? Good shoulders? Another mantle. Wait, what's this one? Okay, let's go back. We gotta change the weapon. I mean, do I really wanna like change it for like like half of a level? I mean, let's do it, right? Let's do it. More damage for like half a level. And maybe I'll sell my weapon again, right? Who knows? It even pretends to be better than this. I don't quite believe it yet though. Because I think it's not counting the conversion on the acid damage. But it just like shows how good Prismatic Eviscerator is, right? It's really, really good actually. Tyrant's Grip can be decent, but not quite good enough in this case, I think. I mean, I want to upgrade my boots at some point. We're gonna lose the proc and like lose some cold damage, but you're gonna get higher armor eventually. There's no way around that. I can't use a different helmet there. Okay, let's change these boots as well. These will give me like higher, like slightly higher physical resistance, which is nice too. Okay, more devotion points. But I guess since we're playing cold, we just like finish the summer talk for now. And we go back to Fort Icon. And then the quests. And I think at that point I should be able to buy a belt from Fort Icon, like a blueprint for a belt. From the Black Legion, actually. Let's see here. No, still not. I need like the Legion belt, right? This one right here gives me like +1 to all skills to Nightblade. Well, apparently we are not worthy yet. Maybe if I kill the witch in the cellar. Let's see how much rep one gives you. Benimorca, McMac, Miguel, welcome guys. How you doing? Also, Junkoke, welcome. How are you leveling so fast by skipping monster mobs? It takes centuries for you, and I keep clearing everything to get XP. Well, you don't have to full clear everything, really. I mean, you should full clear stuff, right? To get to know the game. But, like, quests give you, I would say, generally more XP than monster kills. Like, you just wanna, like, kill packs, right? Like, group up enemies, kill packs, or like kill specific monsters, like bosses. And otherwise, like, only focus on quest objectives. That would be, like, the most efficient way to level, I would say. Okay, what's the rep now? The Black Legion? Not quite there yet. Oh well. Well, I guess now we could play this, right? It's gotta be more damage with like the ABB lethal assault buff up for sure. Like prismatic, right? As I said, if you get it and you don't have an alchemist weapon from an alchemist run, then feel free to use prismatic eviscerator. It's totally fine too. Vitality and Chaos Thrust would be kind of nice right now, not gonna lie. Okay, current. Let's craft a second. Scale tide here real quick. Okay, we got to the end of Nightblade. Got a point in Nightfall. I could also like grab Blade Spirits, which are great for like proccing stuff. Just got the rep too, did we? Oh yeah. Right, okay, we make the belt as well, right? Might as well. Your brain starts to hurt if you don't clear every corner in all RPG games. It's not a waste of time in Grim Dawn the first time you play through the game. It's really not. It is later though. Let's just buy all of these. We're gonna need them eventually anyway. Okay, let's go craft one, and I'm gonna craft it in Homestead because so every smith in this game gives you like a different completion bonus for everything that's not like components and potions and stuff like that. Like every like armor piece can have a smith completion bonus. You can see that one by hovering over here. Right, in this case you get, what is this? Aether resistance, chaos resistance, or health, right? I mean, both of those resistances would be nice. Okay, so we have to craft a Legion belt, which needs a blessed whetstone. Which, well, where the fuck do you get a blessed whetstone? From Kaiman's Chosen, for example. Alright. I have done some quests with them already, so hopefully they like me enough. Oh, they didn't put up a camp here yet though. I should like probably just check my rep then. Jesus, I can't find a button for rep. There we go. Not respected yet. Okay, there's one quest that I haven't done with them yet, right? Slay the neck monsters guarding the ashes in Tomb of the Archon. So I guess before we kill the Gorion, we get sidetracked by the side quest and do that one first. Nobody respects me. I mean, they do... Yeah, not respect me, yes, true. Is there a good stonebox build that I've made or covered? I've made a Alagast Mage Hunter at some point. Alagast Mage Hunter is a like lightning aether hybrid stormbox and frozen skyshard build, which works surprisingly well, even though hybrid is usually not the best in Grim Dawn. But aether lightning is a damage type combination that does work together decently well, I would say. There's quite some devotion overlap between the two, at least, so... Have I ever tried full lightning aberrates Aether Ray? I have. Also on a Mage Hunter, actually. There should even be like a build guide video about that. That's like somewhere in my YouTube. It's been a while though that I've played that one. I'm not sure how good it is on the current patch. If I had to guess, probably like in a decent playable state, but not insanely good. What does ABB mean? ABB means Amarasta's Blade Burst. Let's get over here. Square's Knights at a Druid, yeah. I really like Mage Hunter for channeling actually, because of this, like, Inquisitor's Seal. Usually it kind of like is annoying to play around, right? Because you have to stand still, but if you're channeling, you have to stand still anyway, right? So I think Seal is really, really nice for channelers. But yeah, oh yeah, Druid also is better now, because it used to be annoying to resummon your Wind Devils while channeling, but that's no longer, like, the case, right? They just have infinite duration anyway now. How does physical resistance work compared to armor? So physical resistance, like, mitigates a percentage of the hit, right? Whereas armor mitigates a flat amount, like up to the armor value. Say you get hit by like 5,000 physical damage and you have 2,000 armor, then you take 3,000 damage, right? But if you get hit by 10,000 physical damage, then you take 8,000 damage. Whereas if you had 20% physical resistance, you would... Oh, okay. Oops. Oh, I certainly don't have enough Aether resistance, that's for sure. Then you would take what? With 20% physical resistance, you would take 4,000 damage against 5,000 damage hit, and against 10,000 hit, you would take also 8,000 hit, right? Yeah. The Lightning Mage Hunter was 5 years ago. Holy shit, yeah. Time flies. Totems? Yeah, those you actually have to like place down though. I think I like the Wind Devils more than the totems on a Druid, to be fair, and like a Lightning Ray Druid. After or before armor? It's actually after armor. right? Or is it before? Wait, is it before? Fuck, I forgot. Hang on. Blocks before physical resistance, right? Like blocks before all resistances actually. And flat absorption is definitely after resistances. At armor it is like after block but before resistances. I would have to like rewatch my own video, man. But I think that's how it was. Physical res only works in internal trauma, that's not true. But, well, armor doesn't work on internal trauma, so if you want to mitigate internal trauma, armor is useless, right? You want physical resistance or absorption or percent absorption to mitigate internal trauma. Alright, respected. Very nice. I can pick up this quest as well. We're probably not gonna do it, but... And we can read some more lore, get some more experience via lore. Hey. Do we expect this quarter of the year for Fangs of Asterkarn? I don't. Not first quarter, definitely not, I think. Maybe second. I can see second quarter, but definitely not first. I think that's 100% no now. Have I ever made a video covering basic select conversion rules? Yeah, I have. And like in that, like there's a video on conversion which explains conversion properly, like better than I would explain it right now in this very moment, I think. And I also have one about like, I think stats and defenses, which should also explain the physical resistance armor thing better than I do right now. March 18th release, yeah. On March 17th, they're gonna announce the expansion hits one day after the announcement. Yep, that's definitely how it's gonna work. Didn't cover sub-skills on the conversion video? Maybe not. I mean, that kind of like depends on the skill. Like some sub-skills are added to the main skill and some sub-skills are like sub-skills of their own which get converted by nothing except for global conversion. Unless they are like a part of a pet skill like window, then they still get converted by like local convergence as well. The Eastern Wagon. We're gonna go around here. When do I usually take off local set when leveling alts? At level 94. I level from 9 to 1 to from level 1 to 94 with Lokar. I'm too lazy to switch out at any point in between. It's, to be fair, arguably harder to level with Lokar all the way to 94 compared to not using Lokar, but it's faster. And whether or not it's like hardcore safe depends on your like personal experience with the game, I would say. Firestrike has sub-skills on Deathshriek. Yeah. Brimstone, Explosive Strike, right? Actually, for Deathshriek they removed the second one, whatever it's called again, from being a sub-skill. Like, it used to be even worse with conversion. Around the Wrath of Tenebrous. I have a Sentinel about, like, around that weapon, yeah. Like a Chaos Hour Reckoning Sentinel. Should be on YouTube too. I have made a build with that. Is there a new DLC incoming? Yes, at some point this year. But not in the first quarter. Is it Doombolt build? Yeah, like I reckon Doombolt. Depending on like how you build, you can focus more on our reckoning, like focus more on the Doombolt part, but Doombolt is... It depends like what you want it to be, right?
Ah, I've been expecting
Doombolt
you.
is definitely like the better single target skill. Thanks for Prime. Dialu, welcome in. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Bloomers. What the hell is this? Some World of Warcraft music, Doc Leave. Alright, let's get some more points here. The pneumatic burst line. I mean, around level 40 or like 35 to 40, I would say is like usually the point where you should pick up your second class at the latest. So right about now. But just like with the other recent playthroughs, so like not playthroughs, but like normal leveling tests, we're gonna stay single class for now. Obviously, if you want to play like a cold Nightblade, the best like secondary classes would be Inquisitor, very high up, Demolitionist, Necromancer, Arcanist, Shaman. Kinda like depends what you want to do. For ABB in particular, I would say the best would, like for cold ABB, the best would be Inquisitor Arcanist. But it's like ABB specific kinda, right? For Acid ABB, it would be Dervish or Witch Hunter. I think the weapon is mostly made for Witch Hunter though, so Occultist secondary. Yeah, I mean generally for like Acid Nightblades, Occultist or like Old Keeper would be really good. You can also play Soldier with this class, right? That's really good for pierce damage especially, but you can also like play Acid and Cold Blade Masters. They're like kind of tanky, but to actually deal good damage compared to the other classes, you need like very specific gear, I think. And even then, it's just like a tankier, less damage version most of the time. Yeah, flat. Like shields are kind of bad in Grim Dawn, unless you like have very good shield synergy. Like block is, like for example compared to PoE, like block is very bad in Grim Dawn. And like it's okay, like as a defensive layer, like you can use it and it's certainly usable, but compared to PoE 2, or like PoE 2 as well, it's like way worse. Been following the Prime Strike Druid guide. Smooth sailing up to Endgame. Been farming SR 26, 28 or 30. What kind of clear time should I be shooting for to optimize your loot efficiently? I think what people like shoot for, like for actually min-maxed endgame builds, right? Which is probably like not where you are at yet. Would be like 5 minutes to like for a like SR 30 to 31, right? Like those two shards. 30 to 31 in like 4 to 5 minutes. But that's like if you want to shoot for the stars, right? Like those are the stars, right? You mean like 32 to 33, right? For 4 minutes maybe. I mean that's like another even harder challenge on top. Like no way you're doing 4 minutes 3 shards, right? Like 2 shards. Like there's no reason to do 3 shards for level for fucking farming anyway, right? Like 2 is always the most efficient. Let's dodge the balls. If you have like bad acid res, obviously you're gonna take more damage here, so do be careful with like acid damage dealing acid damage to you, and well the red balls dealing like chaos vitality damage to you probably. But yeah, around this point you should have your rest fixed. And if you're getting sundered like this, and you don't know what's going on, just disengage, right, and like try to not get hit. Rather play it safe than sorry. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Yeah, if you're honestly like on hardcore, on many builds I didn't bother like 4 to 5 minutes is also like you're actually like sweating, like trying to get a good run and stuff like that. And SR is also like all about RNG sometimes. Like you can have a really good build, but sometimes you just get fucked by RNG and you have like a bad run and you still like take 6 minutes, for example. Like 4 minutes is like absolute like god seed and like god tier build and like god tier like playstyle. So having like 7 to 8 minutes runs is at the point where you're at right now totally fine, I would say. Like you're never getting like 4 minute consistent runs, right? Like maybe like 5 minutes average is like consistent, usually. What items you should store and stash? I mean, store whatever you think looks cool. Basically, you don't have to like store all the many blue items. There's like only a couple I think for leveling that are good, like worth really storing. That are like generally good. Some stuff like Herald's set or like Herald's jacket can be fine. For example, Fanatic's overcoat could be fine, I guess. But some of these you're also gonna get like so often. What I think is maybe like worth saving, something like Royal Exuberance set, is like a ring set, like a blue ring set, or like Praetorian set, or stuff like that, or like some legendaries. I mean, obviously like all legendaries can technically be like worth saving. More so the endgame ones and like the leveling ones. So always try to make an Aster Blade Master work with dual wielding the legendary Mad Queen Samai. I don't think I ever worked. Really, I think that should be a decent build now. Maybe it wasn't in the past, but it should be at least decent now. Shouldn't be that bad at this point. I kind of want the Poison Rust, right? Like now that we're going into the Ugden Bog. Mantle of the Weeping Eye would be nice though, like 2 points into Elemental Awakening as well. Kinda wanna use it. I don't wanna use that one though. What happens with Herald's Jacket? Herald's Jacket is not bad, but this one is just better resistances, right? Ancient of the Aether and Ancient Evil. Resistant of Oleron's Wrath. That's a lot of resistances. I do need more Aether, holy moly. I do need to definitely work on that. Ancient of Decay. I mean, that's pretty tanky, isn't it? I don't need the movement speed, right? I'm a flippin' Nightblade. I can just like pump more points into my total speed skill instead. Don't need a Pierce Rust. The physical rest, I mean it's nice, but armor is arguably more important at this point anyway. Yeah, at least this would fix like Chaos Rust. And gives me more HP too, doesn't it? Yeah, a little bit at least. Just a tiny bit. And this is like a legendary item, but honestly it's not even good. You should usually try to like blow up legendaries with like dynamite. I'm not gonna bother in this case though, but usually that's what you should do. Like sell blues and like blow up legendaries so you have like a decent distribution of iron bits to like rare mats, right? Because like blowing up legendaries has a pretty decent chance to give you like additional purple crafting materials. It's kind of nice to have. Got Gauntlets of Ignafar. Could have been a better legendary too. Oh well. This quest like always guarantees a legendary, but I guess we got unlucky. Alright, let's change the components. Sacred to music, correct. At this level, it's better to prioritize status or armor. What do you mean by status exactly? You mean like percent damage? Definitely not. Resistances, yes. I would say resistances are still like slightly more important than armor. If you mean like attributes, then I would say also armor is more important than attributes at this point. When will Season 8 release? After Fangs of Asterkarn, yeah. So later this year at some point. We don't have a date yet. If I enjoy large numbers, what's the hardest hitting single target skill in the game? Shadow Strike, Doombolt, Grenado. Those are like good candidates, I would say. Shadow Strike, Doombolt, Grenado, what else? Fucking auto mod, yeah, I don't know. Do I have to disable that now? It's getting out of hand. I have a Discord server, yeah. If you check out like the description below the channel right now, right? Or like below the stream on YouTube, there should be a link to the Discord. Also, oh my god, I forgot. I keep forgetting so many things right here on this run, what the hell, man. Okay, actually, let me get the Riftgate first. Like, let me get this Riftgate list first. Modders already have info about how modding will be after Fangs of Asterkarn. I mean, we know it's gonna be better. With more options. How exactly? Not yet. We don't know how the thing works exactly yet, I would say. Like the new like make your own endgame system. I mean, we know it's gonna be very modular, but how modular exactly, we don't know yet. Alright, they did put up a shop at this time though, right? At least, yeah. Once they did this like quest with the ashes, they are setting up a shop over here. And we're gonna buy all the blueprints again. Which now allows me to craft a blessed whetstone, which then allows me to craft the belt finally that I wanted to craft earlier today. Let's make like 2 maybe. So when you craft a green item, you get one of the smithing bonuses and you get 1 random affix on top. Of the wild is kind of wild. Well, that one gives you pet stats and elemental resistances. Which are something, but maybe we're getting something better. Of Blight has pierce resistances and like... And acid damage? No, vitality damage actually, not acid damage. Do I make 1 more? I could like make 1 more. Just about 1 more. Well. Aggressive. Wait, did it like roll HP on both of these? I didn't get the resistances at all. No, I didn't, right. This one rolled 80 res on the smith bonus. And aggressive is offensive ability. They're like all kind of bad, right? Wait, why does of Blight have a poison bolt that deals poison damage? Oh, wait, the affix does give you poison damage, but no acid damage? What? It gives you vitality damage? What? What the? I'm so confused. I mean, I feel like this is the best. With Bleed Dress and Chaos Dress. But we're getting like +1 to all skills in Nightblade, which should be worth it, right? Has to be good. Also, you could always check if you got like a Nightblade, +1 Nightblade relic yet, but we didn't, right? There's also Death Chill relic, which is also pretty good actually. If you get this one, you could also consider crafting this one. But maybe it's like a bit too early and like a bit too expensive at this point to craft relics anyway. We're gonna look into that a bit later. But if you're playing like a cold build, then like Death Chill is a pretty nice upgrade for sure. Did you find the Discord? Yes. Largest number from dot stacking. Oh shit, we have like too many skill points here now. But there's no... I mean, okay, there's technically a spirit guide over here, but there's also like a spirit guide in the next town after Gloomvault anyway, so let's just go there. Death chills. Exactly. Okay, yeah, our damage is giving us the chills right now, right? That's for sure. Got some pretty good Nightblade damage. You wanna not miss the shrine in the Gloomvault area. It's like over here in this like northeastern corner. I mean, we're getting some like new models for like enemies and so on, but otherwise I don't think there's gonna be like too many. Okay. I was gonna like not even mention this item until like a bit later, but apparently we already got it. We got a of Thunder suffix though, which is pretty bad. This is like the best monster frequent for Amaressa's Blade Burst. Especially for Acid Amaressa's Blade Burst, of course, right? And if we get like a nice suffix on this, we're gonna play that probably. Which makes you play a ranged two-handed gun Nightblade. Which is maybe not necessarily what you had in mind when you first chose this class, but if you want to play ABB, the skill, then that's like kind of the best weapon. But as you can see, you could also just like keep on playing cold and melee. That also works somewhat fine for now. I want to play ranged. Promise Strike is Rocket Jocks and 3-piece Cyclone the way to go. 3-piece Cyclone is interesting. If you're playing like cooldown Promise Strike, I think 3-piece Cyclone has potential. Otherwise, you could just play like 4-piece Ultos and either Rocket Jocks or like a double rare like Spark Thrower. I think Spark Thrower is probably better if you want to like spam Promise Strike, and Rocket Jocks is more made for like cooldown based Promise Strike. I think Rocket Jocks is also better on like Elementalist and Vindicator actually. Whereas Druid rather wants to go for, well, either Spark Throwers or... There's like another legendary, right? The Vortex gun, what's it called again? Like, Vortex of Souls? It's like an Aether damage gun, but... I don't know if you still can do that. Wait, can you still use Vortex for lightning damage? You can, right? Or did they remove that? Maybe they removed that. Like, Vortex got like some very weird changes in the past, so maybe like Vortex is only a Aether... and Vitality Promise Strike gun now, not a lightning anymore. But it did also like buff the Spark Thrower gun like quite a bit, right? Like, doesn't it have like pass through now? So just like continuing to use Spark Thrower on the Druid might be the play as well. Elite can be skipped, yeah. As long as you have like good enough resistances and you've more or less like full cleared normal. You've gotten like all the reputations unlocked, like all the factions unlocked. You can skip Elite, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, they did change Vortex then, because like Vortex, they used to be, like it used to not have conversion, and you used to be able to like just convert all of the Aether damage on it to Lightning, and then play like Lightning Vortex of Souls. But yeah, they did remove that option, and instead they made Vortex a, well, like Aether Vitality item. And if you want to play Lightning, you just play Spark Thrower all the way, or Rakajax. But Rakajax is more like about... I think Rakajax is more like Electrocute and cooldown based Promise Strike focused. And it's also better on Vindicator or Elementalist. Whereas Spark Thrower is... well, it's also good for Vindicator, the Spark Thrower, but I think it's like the best weapon for Druid right now. Alright, we are back at a Spirit Guide.
What troubles you?
So I can remove the access points that we had over there, and like we don't need more than 10 points here really either.
Safe journey.
And we can put these points into what now? I think I need like a little bit of movement speed actually, maybe not. I mean I can like still put points here and here I guess for like offensive and defensive ability, as well as maybe like another point down here for armor. Or also like could put more points on Shadow Strike for like more single target damage. That's also fine. Since ABB is, well, more... I think I'm gonna go Behemoth right now. It's actually like really solid, I think, on honestly like any class, at least for leveling early game now. Like early to mid game. Not every build wants to use Behemoth later, and I would say very few Nightblades actually want to play Behemoth later. But it fits like so many devotion pages very nicely, so like while leveling it's always kind of nice to have, I think. We'll stay pure Nightblade. It's gonna stay pure Nightblade for now, just like the other builds, yeah. It might transition to something later, but for now it's gonna be pure Nightblade. I mean, this is not really like worth using anyway, right? It is the weapon that I wanna use, but it just has like very bad affixes, so not gonna happen. Chariot, yeah, Chariot is... Oops, don't sell your crystal. Chariot is really nice too, indeed. If you keep on playing like cold, right, you should work on Rowan's Crown next. Definitely, if you wanna like play acid, you should like get Manticore instead. Manticore instead of the Blizzard. And well, for ABB I would usually probably recommend going acid rather. How do you share builds? So there's this website called grimtools.com, right? Where you can upload your character and then create a link, and then you can post the link in, for example, Discord, or on Twitch you can also send links. On YouTube you can't, because of, I don't know, YouTube like being strict or something, I don't know. Maybe I have to like somehow allow links on YouTube, but I don't know, it's, YouTube is a bit stricter with stuff in general, I feel like. I'm gonna prep all classes for Berserker. Maybe. I'm gonna prep like one way or another, that's for sure. I mean, I either gonna use these like single class builds, or maybe just like level fresh ones on release, who knows. Or just like use my playtest builds from like playtesting, which already are Berserker plus whatever. I mentioned Ultos' Tempest set is fine as a 4-piece and keep Spark Thrower. Yeah, that's an option too, yeah, for sure. Especially if you wanna like keep on spamming Promise Strike, right? If you wanna play with the Transmuter, then I think 4-piece Ultos and Spark Thrower is probably better than Cyclone set. You left? Are you back now? You're welcome, Shani. Death Knight and Behemoth aren't friends. Yeah. I mean, Behemoth is better on classes that can work around regen nicer. And Death Knight is not really like a great regen class, is it? Nightblade can actually be like good, like a decent regen class in specific combinations. Like for example, Saboteur can have pretty good regen, or Trickster as well. But yeah, many others don't. Like this skill right here has some regen. And it's never as insane as like Shaman or Soldier or Demolitionist, I guess. But it can have like decent values. But most of the time you just play Leech and Nightblades, right? Leech and you play around your active heal maybe. Yeah, I'm glad like most of the, well, rather dated guides at this point are still useful. Like some of my guides are pretty old, but I would say most of the information there is still somewhat up to date. But for Fangs of Asterkarn at least, I do want to work on updating all of them. Singing Nightblade Mastery, what you suggest for finishing all of the game as R30 included? I mean, the best probably would have to be like some kind of Shadow Strike, ABB kiting character, right? Like hit and run kind of type, I think. Because that kind of like allows you to have like the best mix of damage and safety. And you still do play dual wield, right? To be able to get the stats from the dual blades passive, and you are still gonna like invest a couple of points into like execution. Just for like, well, you're gonna use like Baronov's Fury probably as a default attack replacer, right? The component. If you want to be like even safer, and even safer would be stuff like Blade Spirits Caster or Phantasmal Blades, like not even, I think. The problem with like Blade Spirits is it's only like really good for bleed, I think. But Nightblade as a standalone with no bleeding resistance reduction whatsoever is kind of bad for bleed. Like you need Shaman or Occultist as a secondary. So yeah, for damage I would say definitely like some dual wield Shadow Strike execution kind of builds. Even more so when Fangs of Asterkarn drops, because the Shot of Behemoth currently on playtesting also gives you like a couple Onslaught stacks actually. Which is pretty insane when you think about it. Like Shot of Behemoth, Shadow Strike. Don't even need actual Onslaught. Just play Shot of Behemoth for Onslaught stacks. Don't even need to be a Berserker, like just play a Reaper or something, right? Yo, Xanthos, welcome, welcome. Ultos, Tempest, Spear of the Heavens, Korvac, which one or two would you pick for a Promise Strike Druid? Actually, I would probably not pick Korvac or Spear anymore for Promise Strike Druid. Which I might have done in the past, but Hydra is like way better now. Kraken is a must, right? So you have to like play Kraken, Hydra. Like you have to play Kraken, Hydra. Tempest is better now as well, so you maybe want to play Tempest. You have to play Arcane Bomb, it's mandatory. And then I guess you play something like Ultos. And for like damage defense hybrid, you could play like Crab or Hyrian maybe. Yeah, Hydra, Kraken, Widow for sure, and then I think you go for Ultos, because like the easiest to fit in there, and otherwise you try to like get some more tier 2s like Tempest, Hyrian, or Crab. Where's Crab? Here, or maybe even like Giant, like Behemoth, for more defense. I think Ghoul is very good still though, actually. Like Ghoul used to be like a bit unpopular in between, but I think for like attack build it's still really, really good. And Turtle used to be like really, really good a couple patches ago, like almost mandatory. It's definitely worse than that again. But can be like a good safety net still. I would probably try to not run Turtle. Like try to make it tanky without Turtle. Because I don't think like Promise Strike Druid is like one of the builds where Turtle is like the best. And I think unless Turtle is like really good for the build, I would probably not run it anymore. Am I manually adjusting the camera all the time? Yeah. I use keybind. Camera rotate, right? This one enables camera rotation. This is, I think, the default actually. The default option is middle mouse. So like if you press down your mouse wheel, it enables camera rotation, and then if you move your mouse to the left or to the right, you're rotating the entire camera, which you can do very, very, very fast, like that, compared to using the buttons. There's also like a button for like rotate left, rotate right, but those are like way slower, so I don't like using them. What about Rowan's Crown? Still good? Oh yeah, true. If you, yeah, I mean you need that too. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you need Rowan's Crown too. Unless you have like another source of that same type of debuff, then you don't need it, but I think Promise Strike Druid does not have a source like that by default, so you will need Rowan's Crown too, yeah. Like it's basically, Rowan's Crown is mandatory unless you have another way of getting like what I call like flat resistance reduction, right? It's like X number, like X reduced targets elemental resistances, or like X reduced targets resistances in general, like this kind of stuff. Unless you have like another skill or like an item that gives you that stat, then you will always need Rowan's Crown and elemental build. And you can probably like put rotation to also work on like, I don't know, like scrolling up or down the mouse wheel if you want to do that like that. Grimdawn should be very customizable with the keybinds after all. Trying to learn Grim Dawn, started with a Warlord, pretty fun right now. I plan on playing Grim Dawn until Titan Quest 2 comes out. That's good to hear. And then of course you're gonna come back to Grim Dawn once the expansion hits, right? Hopefully. Anyway, Warlord is a good starter. It's a very tanky and safe class. Should be kind of easy to learn the game with that class, I think. Does Titan Quest 2 have a release date? It, I think, doesn't even have a release date for early access yet now. Didn't they say something about, like, at the end of winter we're gonna get early access? So that would mean, like, the end of February. But I don't know. We shall see. I don't think there was, like, any announcement yet. Do you play Rones even if you have Wind Devil? Yes, Wind Devil is not the same type of debuff. Wind Devil is, if you look at it closely, right, it says like minus number %. And that type of debuff, just like Night's Chill for example as well, this will always stack, like with all other sources as well. Which is why you also play Arcane Bomb on top always, because Arcane Bomb also has the same like debuff type. Like this debuff type stacks, like you can use multiple layers of the same. But the one from Rowan's Crown, for example, doesn't stack. And then there's a third one, that's the one from Viper or from Ultos. These also don't stack. Yeah, you play Arcane Bomb and Rowan's, yeah. Okay, so anything that says reduced always has the rule that only the highest applies. And anything that says minus stacks. Right, if something says reduced somewhere in there, then it's like not stacking. The same goes for like OA and DA shreds as well. Like OA, DA debuffs and so on. Like there's skills that say, I don't know. This one is minus OA, right? It doesn't say reduce, it's minus OA, so this will stack with other minus OA debuffs. But if it says like reduced OA, then it doesn't stack with other like reduced OA debuffs. Yeah, the same for resistance reduction. Is there an example for that, I think? What's an example for that? Like for example, Blindside has like reduced DA, so like this would not stack with like another type of reduced defensive ability. Viper and Ultos don't stack, that's correct, yeah. No point taking Ultos if you're going for Ultos. No point taking Viper if you're going for Ultos. You might still wanna take it for like affinity, actually, and offensive ability. Like Viper can still be fine to take, even without the like resistance shred stacking. Because it's just like a tier 1 devotion. And for tier 1 devotions, you don't need to like always use all the stats. You might just care about affinity as well. Viper requires weapon damage, Ultos does not.
I've been expecting
Because Ultos
you.
has the debuff on the skill, which just like gets applied by the skill. Viper has like the debuff added to your weapon damage, so you need a skill with weapon damage to apply it, which Prime Strike would be. You go too, thanks for the Prime. Welcome and welcome on. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Bloomers. Hello, hello. Is there any place to find recent still viable builds? I would say that like almost all of my builds on YouTube are still at least viable. Some of them could be like optimized a little bit like here and there. Like Grim Dawn doesn't like ever really nerf builds into the ground. I mean, sure there are nerfs and buffs happening, but something getting like nerfed into the ground like almost never happens. Otherwise there's also a like top 20 softcore builds thread on the forums, or just like a generic like build compendium as well on the forums, which has like a pretty decent like summary of builds, I guess. Will there ever be a Grim Dawn 2? I think Grim Dawn 2 will come out next decade. So yes, I do believe there is gonna be a Grim Dawn 2, but it's not gonna be anytime soon. Yeah, generally I would say the best place to look for builds is the Grim Dawn forums. The Grim Dawn forums are maybe not always the best to search through, and also like sometimes a bit toxic, I guess, but I mean, every game community is like a bit toxic here and there, right? Otherwise, you could also look for builds on grimtools, right? Grimtools also has like a build search function. And yeah, like most of my builds on YouTube, I would say, are also fine. I do sometimes tend to, I don't know, like prioritize just playing a certain idea over like playing whatever's like the best. Like I've made many builds that are certainly not like top 1 builds, or like top 10 builds, but they're just like fun and wonky to try to make work after all. Your build takes 2 seconds longer to clear the crucible now. It's definitely unviable now. Yep. Crash build, delete it right now. Instantly, yeah. True. Delete it instantly. Mars colonization and discovery via space portals will be reached before Grim Dawn 2 is released. I mean, I'm actually not sure about that. Mars is gonna take quite a while. Like Mars shouldn't be that easy.
A blessed welcome.
But who knows? There's a good chance what you're saying might happen. Grim Dawn 2 apparently isn't easy to make either. I've made good builds and ate the Reaping Arc. Yeah. Did they buff Ilgor? I mean, not last patch, at some point. When they did the Sunder patch, she got buffed quite a bit. They are developing Grim Dawn 2. They are like working on the engine on which eventually at some point Grim Dawn 2 is gonna be working on. Like a run-on. Run-on?
I don't know.
Like they're still in the we are making the engine phase. So yeah. I should probably actually go back right here and then like hand on the quest while I go to the portal. I have returned indeed, alright. Let's do that. Okay, so we've made sure to pretty much do all the side quests here in advance. That's like kind of cool. Like, if you don't know where to go, obviously you have to like explore everything first and like get all the quests later and then like go somewhere again. But once you know, and then you can do almost all quests. Almost. Like in advance. I didn't get a good like bile thrower, did I? So I guess we're running this for a bit longer. Also my rests are kinda yikes, not gonna lie. These are not good rests right now. What the hell is going on? Like this is not this is not mammoth viable, is it? Right now. Okay, what do I need for runestone? Can I make a runestone? You can get the runestone component from these guys over here. Eel or lizard for a caster. That depends a lot on the build. It doesn't really have to do anything with like caster or non-caster, to be honest. I mean eel is 5 blue for 3 points, lizard is 4 blue for 3 points, so in many cases there is not even an option. You have to pick eel because otherwise you can't like fulfill your requirements. Okay, runestone, right? Runestone is a pretty good item that you can put on your helmet. But it needs like 3 ward stones first of all, so let's make like 2 more ward stones to make the runestone. Then we want to put the runestone in the helmet. We don't really have the best helmet right now. It's a very low level helmet, but this should help. Well, I mean, why are we doing this, right? This thing gives me 12 poison rest, 12 elemental rest, and 12 aether rest. Should help like a little bit here at least. And I could also like use an imbued silver in my weapon instead of the cold stone. I mean, cold stone is obviously lots of damage, but if you're dead, you deal no damage, right? So let's use an imbued silver here to cap the chaos rust and the bleed rust, or like, well, get a bit more bleed rust at least. Gotta still somehow get like more aether rest at some point, but oh well. The Soul Land's one of the worst twin-handed guns. It's a really weird gun. Isn't that like a caster gun? Like a two-handed caster gun? I don't know, it's really weird. Do I think ranged ABB is any good? I think so, yeah. Like Ugdenborg by launcher is... Well, if I found a good one with like good FXs, I would be playing that one right now actually. I think Ugdenborg bar launcher is arguably the best weapon for ABB right now. And then for that, as a secondary class, you would be choosing ideally Witch Hunter, yeah. Like Occultist secondary, right? 100%. Is Kriegstedt still good for endgame? I mean, it's okay. It's never been bad. I don't think it's like crazy good though. It's alright. I mean, it's supposed to be like an easy to farm set, which, well, it's supposed to be powerful according to how easy it is to farm, so it's not crazy powerful, I would say. It's okay though. I wish they would like do 1 or 2 changes that make like Warcry redundant on Aether versions of Death Knight at least. And put like more emphasis on the Stomp. I think if they just like made the skill better, it would be a pretty decent set. Like an actual good set. I think right now it's I mean the best use of Kriegstedt is like gloves and boots as a 2-piece and like Aether builds in general. But the full set, I mean it's okay, but there are better builds for sure. Alright, maybe for level 45 I should put out like a new grimtools here. Like a new link. Since we've made it all the way to Void's Edge. The problem with looking for a build is everything looks the same. Person walks into melee range, attacks, some effects happen which look like other builds, that's it. I mean, you can also play a ranged build with like pistols or a caster build. You don't have to be you don't have to be melee with all builds. But you are right that many builds feel a bit like that. You can also play pet builds where like, well, you're never gonna have to face enemies ever because your pets just kill the enemies for you. Alright, let's try how well this works right here with ABB against Agrum. I doubt it's gonna be as good as like Reexivil was the other day. But I still a Nightblade, right? Even without like full dual wield melee or like Shadow Strike focus, this is still respectable single target damage. It's still better than Penalty actually, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is totally fine. Yeah. Nightblade is just an insane class for damage. Kind of no matter what you do. Is there anything in this game like PoE attribute stackers where you scale offensive defensive on a single stat? I mean, there are like cunning and spirit stackers, especially cunning stackers, but it's not like... I don't think it's as crazy as on PoE 1 or 2, but... Are there good pistol builds? I mean, there are some good pistol builds, yeah, for sure. You can do Rata stackers. I mean, that's not really like an attribute, but... Especially like Pierce, Cunning attribute stackers, Pierce damage attribute stackers. But Cunning used to be kind of crazy. That archetype got kind of nerfed though. I mean, it's still good to stack Cunning on Pierce builds for sure, but it's not quite as crazy as it used to be. Rata is retaliation damage added to attack, so it's kind of like Thorns, but actually viable, right? So like it adds a part of all of your total Thorns damage to a skill. So it's kind of like you actually use Thorns as part of your damage on your skills. So not only passively. That's what Rata is. Or like retaliation damage added to attack. It doesn't make you tankier, no. But compared to, say, PoE... I mean, okay, compared to any other ARPG, I think, Grim Dawn is the most melee-friendly out of all of them. So, that I know, at least, so... You can, if you build things right, you can play melee for literally all content, easily. Grim hates guns? What do you mean? PoE doesn't even have guns. I mean, PoE has bows, I guess. There's totally fine gun builds as well, I don't know. Like many are totally fine. I mean, take Harbinger for example, that's arguably one of the highest damage builds in the game. It's a 200 gun build. I mean, it's like a caster gun hybrid, I guess. But... And then the top 20, I mean... The top 20 is like a... They have like selection bias, of course, as well. I mean, melee Nightblades are the king of speed in general. Especially for softcore. That's kinda true, yeah. It's gonna change a bit more though in the expansion, I think. I mean, Nightblades are getting stronger too though in the expansion. I don't know, everything is getting stronger in Asterkarn, it feels like. It's kinda hard to judge at this point, to be fair. Like, there's so many variables being changed with Asterkarn. It's kind of crazy. All right. I really need more Aether resistance. 44% is not good for this act. Like, that's garbage. You want like 60... Like, Aether S... I think you're fine with like 40 to 50% Aether S up until this act. Or maybe even with less. But once you are in Malmouth, you kind of want to get as close to 80% as possible, as soon as possible. So, yeah. I'm trying to look out for items with Aether S for sure. I mean, compared to PoE, yeah, Grim Dawn's more about melee. Which I think is better, because melee has, even in Grim Dawn, a higher risk. But at least in Grim Dawn it's getting rewarded better, right? Like, as meta, you're obviously getting hit by more stuff, or like, you need to know what to dodge and what you can hit by and so on. Like, melee requires more game knowledge, I would say, for sure. But you are getting rewarded at least as well, with like proper like kill speed, if you know how to play the game. The pair of solas. Oh yeah, maybe I should like upgrade my boots. Yeah, I mean pants. That's a good point. Solar would be the best option. It's like guaranteed Aetherus and maybe like some more on top from an affix. That's a good point. A very good point. Shadow strikes and blitzes. I mean, that gap was actually getting closed a bit with like higher base movement speed in the, like higher possible movement speed in the expansion on range builds. Yeah, let's take a small detour here to unlock Hidden Path part 1 and 2 at least. To get like a nice pair of Solar pants, hopefully. And I could also like use Elect Plates of Valor, like these are really good too, but the problem is I don't need like Pierce Rest. I mean, I would need the Bleed Rest, but bleeding resistance is honestly not as important. Because you can always react. What you can do is you can sell all your items and then like just write Aether resistance in your buyback window. Because, well, the shops have a search bar, your inventory does not. Like, if I use these, right, I would, like, lose so many other resistances, right? It's kind of not doable. Like, same for this one. I don't know. Did they buff bleeding damage from enemies recently? I don't think so, no. Do you have to place the Shaman's Wendigo Totem on top of an enemy to proc a devotion? Yes. The Shaman's Wendigo Totem has like 2 skills, right? It has like 1 skill. Actually, it has like 3 if you have Blood Pact on top, right? So Blood Pact buffs you as long as you stand next to the totem. So the only condition is you standing next to the totem. Then it has a damaging skill, dealing damage to the enemy depending on like whatever damage it says it does, which requires the enemy to stand next to it. And then the third skill is the healing skill, which requires you and an enemy to stand next to it. Right, like it's the Wendigo Totem only heals you if you and an enemy stand inside of it, or like next to it. And the part that procs the devotion is only the part that deals damage. So you need the enemy to get hit by the like damaging aura from the totem to like proc the devotion, yeah. Under 35% is normal. I mean, you can get like 150, 160% easily on range builds soon. Like easily those numbers, and then like even more with like certain items. And those skills do require a target too, right? Like it's not like you... I mean, ideally there's always a target though. Fabius Omega one-shots you. Yeah, Fabius has an aura that reduces your pierce resistance. So if you don't have like 30% overcap on pierce, you will just die. Something like that. Okay, so this Guardian over here, right, the Guardian of Solisle, drops these pants, and because we are a streamer and we have streamer luck, we're getting of Winterstorm suffix, which gives us like +2 to Night's Chill on top. These pants always have Aetheress, Bleedress, and Leech. Mighty gives us physique. Of the Winterstorm gives us cold damage, offensive ability, I believe elemental resistances, freeze duration, like freeze resistance basically, and the +2 Night's Chill. So I guess we couldn't have been more lucky with these, but I'll take them. Right, I'll just take them. We lose some armor, which is fine. Yeah. There's also like higher level versions of these pair pants that you can farm later on. Once you are high level, right? Like the enemies in this game level with you, and drops depend on enemy level. So if you want to get higher level items, you have to level yourself so that the enemies level with you, and then you kill the high level enemies that are high level because you are high level. And then, well, you get better items, right? Which also like sometimes confuses, I think, like some RPG players from other games, if they come to Grim Dawn and they think like, oh, I can just like overlevel this guy, right? If they're stuck at some boss, just overlevel him. Well, if you overlevel but don't put your skill points into the right skills, and or you don't get gear upgrades, then you will actually be weaker compared to the enemy on higher level. If you're actually like making the run, like your chances worse than before. Yeah, I kind of want these like for endgame now as well, if I was like using this character, right? Like Mighty of, what is it, Winterstorm at level 94. Would be pretty good for this build, for sure. Playing ranged Blade Burst, yeah. That makes more sense usually. With the Bile Thrower, right? That definitely makes more sense. I didn't get a good Bile Thrower yet, and I mean, obviously I'm aware that you can go to the Ancient Grove to just like buy one from the shop there, but I kind of didn't bother doing that yet. And to be fair, this Alchemist Scythe with Shadowstrike is doing a pretty good job so far as well. Right, as meta you do have the additional mobility with Shadowstrike, which is nice, is nice. Right. This guy over here also has like 2 monster quick ones he can drop, like 2 different chests. I think neither of which are interesting for this build, but they exist. They can be good for like other builds. I think like one of them is like really good for like Fire Strike builds, for example, or like one is good for, I think, like Aether melee builds as well. Where do I put my points? Like one here, right? Maybe like one down here. Let's go. Oh, you're playing the Cold War with pistols, the Hagaradian Enforcers. Yeah, that's like a good build too, like a good endgame build for Inquisitors, right? Like for like infiltrators. That's very juicy. You can't really like do that while leveling though, right? That build is unfortunately tied to the guns. Right, can't play that build without the guns.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left. See you around. I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
But it's a good endgame build for sure, yeah. Oh, I want to make a Lucius Arm Whalekeeper build, but I feel like I would have too little Aether resistance reduction for it to be good. For Arcanist and Shaman. Yeah, Aether resistance reduction can definitely be a problem for that class combination, for sure. For a Druid. I think... They did change like Veilkeeper set a little bit recently, didn't they? I'm not sure if it made like Aether Druid better or not. I know you can play Lightning like Veilkeeper Druid actually pretty well. And I know you can probably play Aether Ritualist too. Or like Aether Spellbinder. But Aether Druid does have the resistance reduction problem indeed. I don't know, I didn't look at it recently all too much. I know they changed like some stuff, they made it like better somehow, I don't remember how exactly, but... I think they made it like easier for you to play around the Aether Savagery conduit. Which, I don't know, I think it's better on Ritualist though. If you want to play like around Upheaval, you want like big OA. And for that, like Arcanist is kind of better than Necromancer though. Second class? Yeah, maybe later, not yet. Not right now. Did I get all 3 wagons? Or did I only have... Ah, shit. Probably only got 2, I don't know. Actually, no, I think wagon number 1 was here, right? Hopefully. If you don't pick up the quest, it can be a little bit iffy here. You might miss some wagon. I wanna go Aether Upheaval.
The Ethereals do more than just slaughter us. That much is apparent. They've been...
Right, I did forget one wagon. The northern wagon. Should be like, I guess, around here, as usual. Shadowstrike is really nice for Candle's District, because Grindon Engine and, or like Grindon Pathfinding rather, really handles stairs rather poorly. And Shadowstrike can kinda just do the pathing for you, right? You just Shadowstrike instead of having to worry about any pathing. Okay, there it is. You're doing some generic cold pistols? Wait, that actually works? I mean, I guess it somehow works, but...
Come see what's left of my wares.
Whenever you get the pistols, it's gonna feel like a big upgrade, I can tell you that. Like, I didn't even think it would be, like, possible to play the build without the pistols, to be honest. Like, as in, like, 200 melee, or... I guess, but like with dual pistols. Like, what guns do you even run? I don't think there's like any good like cold guns even in the game, apart from exactly those that you need.
Good, you're back.
Yo, Walken, welcome back, welcome back. How you doing, man? 25 months already. Appreciate it.
There you are. Well
Karinia's given me
Alright, Karinia has been doing this and that. Can you already like pick up this one? I think we can already, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. More often than not I pick up this quest way later, but you can actually pick it up right away here. Oh shit, I do have to go though, actually very soon. Yeah, I guess I have to do like Korvac and like preparations for Ultimate and Theoden like next stream actually, guys. We're gonna like at least run through Steel Cap real quick. Took me a while to realize the soundtrack, the Wings of Liberty one. Yeah. Dude, StarCraft 2 was such a good game, like when it first came out at least. It kind of went like a little bit to shit after that, but I think like up to Heart of the Swarm it was a really good game. Like the first two expansions were, like the first iteration of the game and like the first expansion were like really good. After that, it's still okay, but... By the way, did you know that Xantai, the basically like main designer, right, for Grim Dawn, and whatever that the official like name is for that, like chief designer, whatever. Big Z, right? Big Z. He was a StarCraft 2 modder, right, before he actually started working for like one other company and then for Crate. Right, that's interesting. Just some like, you know, Crate developer trivia. Would recommend a Spellbreaker or Water. If you wanna play a like rather hard to class but very fun to master and arguably maybe even like the most fun class in the game once you fully master, like once you've like fully mastered it, kind of class, then yeah, I would suggest you a Spellbreaker. Right, Spellbreaker is definitely not easy to play, but very fun to master and very, very powerful if you play it right and if you have like the right gear for it. But Water is way more chill. You can be like just tanky and out regen everything if you build it around that as well. Yeah, you can just like AFK almost and play like one or two buttons. Kinda like depends what you want to do, right? It's like very, very different playstyles. Both are mostly primarily melee. I mean, you can play Spellbreaker as a like Trojan caster too, I guess. But it's mostly like melee too, I would say. I mean, I guess you could even... I think with like the next patch, or like with Fangs of Asterkarn at the very least, you could probably also play like Cold Phantasmal Blade Spellbreaker pretty decently now. There are gonna be some changes that will make that like a lot better. Currently I think there's like the best shadows, like the best build for Breaker is definitely like Cold Shadow Strike. And you can also do like Cold Trojan Sky Shard, especially for leveling. If you don't feel like playing melee, that's fine too. I think for endgame, a class like Druid is just probably arguably a bit better though. And yeah, Spellbreaker for Phantasmal Blades also exists, I guess, but that's gonna be a lot better like in the next couple of patches than right now. Dude, Fangs is gonna have so much more. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, it also takes A bit longer than expected, but oh well. As long as the product is good in the end, that's fine. And as long as we don't die before playing it, that's also fine, right? Destroy the gates. Okay, so
this is what the preliminary report.
this is where we are now. And let me just finish the other side quests on the road here. And if you're playing softcore, I would not advise you to play a water. Unless you really wanna just play like one button builds. Or like you wanna watch like Netflix on the second screen while playing the game, stuff like that. I think especially for softcore, a breaker is always gonna be more fun than a water. BU, play softcore, have 2 waters. I mean, I guess you can also have fun with waters and softcore. I mean, kind of like depends what you want to play, right?
Good work.
I guess Prime Strike water is at least flashy, yeah.
Captain Wilford, I'm. See anything you like?
Alright, we're gonna continue here next time, guys. And then after that, maybe play a new build. Because I'll probably bench this guy at the end of normal once again. And say ABB is fine to play if you play it like this, or if you play the buy launcher. I'd probably like farm or buy launcher as well. And like see how ranged feels around this level as well.
I'm planning on.
Yo, Nefs, thanks for the 19 months. Welcome back, welcome back. I appreciate the support. You like water because it's the closest thing to barbarian until berserker. Makes sense, yeah. It's like big two-hander kind of stuff. Berserker is gonna feel like barbarian in some ways, but also gonna feel very, very different actually in many other ways. Like berserker, just like all Grim Dawn classes, is gonna be a very versatile class and be played in many different ways. One of the more diverse classes, I would have to say. Maybe even like the most diverse actually when it comes to playstyles. We'll see, we'll see. Will Berserker work with a gun? Absolutely. It will. I mean, it's maybe not going to be like the main focus of the class, but it will work, yeah. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Oh shit. Yo, Dr. Marshy 546, welcome in Raiders, welcome, welcome. Just as I was about to end. Thanks so much for the raid, man. Welcome, man. Welcome, guys. Did you play some Grim Dawn? What have you been up to? I do have to go, though, unfortunately. So we do have to find somebody else to raid after this as well. Somebody was, like, asking about, like, good gun builds. Raynan22 is playing a gun lord right now. He's playing, like, a gun warlord, right? If you wanna see, like, some good hardcore gun action. He's playing some guns. And then there's also Johnny, who's playing the season in offline mode. If you are hungry for like more offline, I mean for more additional content before Fangs of Asterkarn is out, right? And if you already like checked out everything in the base game, you can also like check out the seasonal content. Otherwise, I'll see you around on YouTube and Discord, and of course also on my Discord, right? YouTube build link, YouTube build link, YouTube build link, YouTube build link. Another link for the build right now. Yeah. It's not even like level 50 yet, the character, but we're gonna continue it like later. I'm gonna put the level 45 and level 49 links down below in the description of the stream, as always. They should be there now. I'll actually be live again on Friday this week. Like this week, recently I was like Tuesday, Thursday, and maybe like a third day of the week, right? But right now I'm having like exams, so like I have to like plan my streams around those a bit as well. So this week the next stream will be on Friday. I did stream today instead of Tuesday because of the Misadventure being out today, right? And the next stream is gonna be on Friday though, because I do need to, yeah. Work on some stuff for uni until then. Is that a standard Grimdawn weapon? That is a... yeah, that's a normal Grimdawn weapon. Like, this is from Alchemos. It's a scythe. The Alchemos' scythe. From the Steps of Torment boss. Thanks, guys. I'll see you around on Friday then. Have a good evening, morning, day, afternoon, wherever you are. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all the follows, all the subs, all the support. And yeah. Many build guide updates or like leveling guide updates coming soon, close to Fangs of Asterkarn, right? That's why we're like doing all these runs as well. All right, guys, take care. Bye bye. Bye.